You're basically immersing yourself into an animator's imagination right here. All of the archival artistry that you see behind me is all from the 4 feature animation films: Lion King, Little Mermaid, Cars, and Finding Nemo. We really wanted our guests, for their first scene of the story, to be immersed in the artistry of animation. So that's where the Disney Art of Animation story begins, is working and immersing yourself into the concept of Disney's Art of Animation Resort. When you step out and into the courtyards, that's when you'll be immersed into the actual stories of and really kind of immerse yourself as a character within the courtyards. So, if anybody...
Glendale, California, and that is where our animators create these wonderful pieces of art that you see throughout this building. We are surrounded by larger-than-life, colorful paint jars all around us, full with merchandise and souvenirs. And as you can see, the colors of the wall base also match the colors of the floor. So feel free to walk around and enjoy the space.
All this artwork is artwork that has not been released. So the artwork throughout this whole area, actually the artwork pretty much through the whole door, is artwork that has never been seen by guests before. And we've been able to bring it in from the animation archive, work with the actual animators that work on these films. And so right now, if you look in here, it's broken into 4 sections, but the cafe itself actually has to do with the environments that our characters live in. So you won't see the characters in here, you'll see the worlds that they lived in. And it's amazing to see, because that's what actually brings them to life. It isn't just the characters, but it's their world. And so that's what we created here. When you're out in the courtyards and anywhere like that, you're going into the world of our characters. So this is where they live, and you get to experience it. So we're really happy to have you here. Thank you.
Okay, so from here, conceptual, the artistry behind the story. Now we've immersed yourself into the story. You are Nemo. You're the size of Nemo, so you'll understand the scale of Crush, almost 30 feet tall. Mr. Ray, 26-foot wide wingspan. Again, you're in the big blue pool, one of the largest pools on property, resort property, 12,000 square feet. Incredible pool. The jellyfish, actually, we shut the water off because it was a little bit, it's a little bit noisy with all the video going on. But those jellyfish actually have tentacles of water that come down, and then right behind is the Finding Nemo interactive wet play area, where Marlin, Nemo, Tad, Chickenfish, Sheldon, and Pearl all play, and you'll see water jets and pop jets. But beyond that is the coolest ever dry playground, Squirt's Righteous Reef. Definitely have to check that out, where Squirt has made his own playground in the middle of coral. Really, really neat. You guys got to check that out. Can't wait to see kids climbing and sliding all over that. And we got Ryan here to kind of take you through and give you a little bit more detail associated with the making of the icons and the details associated with the icons. So if you have any questions regarding how they build that, how did they cantilever Mr. Ray, Ryan's got all the answers for you.
All right, so we're right here. We're in Nemo's courtyard, Finding Nemo's courtyard. Behind me, you can see the Nemo and Marlin and the sea anemone. And right now, we're standing in the wet playground area with Tad, Sheldon, Pearl, and Chickenfish. We have the pop jets here. Luckily, they're not on right now, but the pop jets will get going, and the characters will spit water out of them. On either side of us, we have Mr. Ray with the 26-foot wingspan and Crush, who tops out at 28 feet. Behind, and then we have Squirt's Playground, where you can go through the slides. We have the Squirt, photo opportunities. It's really a beautiful reef that he's atop. If you look at the building facades, we have 45 individual fish attached, swimming along. We have the EAC, and we have the playground area behind me. Behind you, we have the 5 jellyfish that they'll rain water on either side of the zero entry pool. Overall, we have 28 fish scattered throughout the courtyard. So it really makes the immersive environment, as they touched on earlier. In this courtyard, you are the scale of Nemo. So as you can see behind me, you have Nemo, and then you have the larger-than-life characters with Crush and Dory and Mr. Ray. Does anybody have any questions?
I have a question. I talked to Pixar animator Sean Krause when he was out here a few weeks ago, and he noted that he was particularly impressed by the fact that all these characters are really on model. How did you ensure that blowing them up to this size, they still looked exactly like they do in the film?
Well, that's a good question. The characters you see here come from the digital media, from Pixar, from the movie itself. So this is actually the actual character that you saw, just transferred into a larger scale. To keep it on model, there's an intermediate step. It starts off with the mock-up or the maquettes. The scale is determined, placement, orientation, and then we do what you call a intermediate model, or a 6-foot model, which is approximately 6 feet, where it is routed out and foamed and hard-coated and painted. So all that detail, that fine detail, you can get a little bit more into the 6-foot model and work with the paint schemes. And then from there, it is scanned again and then routed out at full size, as you see behind me here. So in each stage, you have the sculptors, you have artists, you have everybody gets to put that final detail that really makes a punch in the end.
Any other questions, or if not, we'll go inside of the rooms.
The question is, are they treated so that the fading is minimized?
Yes, we have specific paint systems. We have different paint systems for the characters that are in the water environment versus just out in the sun.
Talk about the audio in the pool.
Yes, we do have audio in the pool underwater, so a different set of speakers that the waterproof type, that when the guests are in the pool enjoying the sun, they can hear the Nemo characters.
What are the Nemo characters saying? What are some of those phrases?
Actually, I have not been underwater myself, so.
That was actually, Ryan worked on all the sculptures. That wasn't one of the elements that he worked on. But we can find out for you. Okay, let's go ahead and...
How are ya? Welcome to Disney's Art and Animation Family Suite.
We can kind of split it up.
We're completely immersive environments in here. We've tried to stylize the environments from the movie here with all the colors and the textures and some of the characters here. So as you walk in, the family suite sleeps 6. So we have the dining table here that turns into a bed. So we have 2 that can sleep in here. Sofa bed in the family room, sleeps 2. And then the designated master bedroom here with a separate bathroom. So we have 2 bathrooms here in the suite as well. So you can just see all the colors around, and it's going to be really fun for all the families and the kids. Just continuing that story from the moment you walk into the resort into your room here. So.
And can you show us the bed?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So pull the chairs out, and they're stackable.
Both rooms are available.
We're able to use the surfaces of the bed to add a lot of color and custom artwork into the room. Just a little pull. And then we have our big reveal of the room, where we have Nemo and Marlin sleeping in the anemone. Nice little dimmer switch, just some fun things for the families to enjoy while they're staying in the room. It's a really great product. I think it's for a lot of circulation in the rooms. There's a lot of areas for the families to walk around in. Not a lot, the 2 bathrooms. A lot of space for everyone to kind of be in.
Why don't we do this, since this space is so kind of like spread out? If you guys want to take a walk around, look around, or whatever, and then Danielle, can kind of answer any questions.
Yeah.
It looks like everybody's kind of set up, so I can tell she's afraid to move around.
Yeah.
Get out,
Well,
so.
if you want to look into the master bedrooms, we
Sure.
have this separate room in the guest suite where a designated private area for the parents or grandparents, whoever may be staying in here. And then we have this amazing bathroom with shower glass doors, and it's really fun. The story continues into the bathroom, and we have the second layer where you're in under the big blue with all the characters in the guest suites, and as you enter into the bathroom, that story continues, and we have the submarine scene where Dory and the sharks are swimming around, and you can see in the guest bathroom our shower curtains are themed after that submarine scene. So, and we have the porthole mirrors and submarine finishes, metallic tiles, and the shower surrounds, so it's really beautiful. And all the custom artwork here, you can see on the coverlets that this is all custom to Disney's Art of Animation Resort, just working with our partners at Pixar and Feature Animation, developing these ideas and stylizing those relationships that have been created in the movies and bringing them to life here in the rooms. So you can see we have Peach on the coverlet here, Sheldon on the headboard. All the colors and the details have been developed and worked on by lots of different partners here. So it's been a pretty amazing experience bringing this to life.
How have you improved on other value resorts at Walt Disney World with Art of Animation?
Well, I think Art of Animation is kind of a product of what we started at All Star, where we have that family suite where they sleep 6, and I think after seeing the popularity there, that realizing this is in demand, having a room that can sleep 6 is where we need to be. So.
Can you talk about the process of working with Pixar? Obviously, character integrity is so important. How does that process begin as far as choosing scenes and ensuring the characters look as though they literally stepped off the screen?
Yeah, I mean, we have weekly meetings, daily meetings with Pixar. They're involved in every step of the way, making sure the characters' shapes and the forms and the way that the movements that we have in the artwork is identical to the way they need to be, as far as stylizing them in the rooms here. You'll notice there's not an exact screenshot in the rooms here, except for when you pull down the Innova bed, we have a very realistic image, but mainly in the rooms it's all about the style and the colors and that texture and the feels that have been created in the movies.
What about the switch to indoor hallways here as opposed to the All-Star where it's all outdoors? Was that, I guess, demand or just a choice to add more air conditioning? Or
It's allowed us to add a lot more circulation into the interiors of the guest rooms. I think it's a nice feature. People, you don't have the windows outside, people walking out in front, but in Little Mermaid we have that feature, which is also great on our value level. So I think it's turned into, it allowed us to add more finishes into the guest experience. Our corridor carpet is, as if you're traveling down the EAC with the bubbles and the colors, and adding some colors on the doors, and just really trying to bump up that experience as you enter into the story and into your rooms. And then you'll also notice in the family room area we have a kitchenette, which is also a great feature that we've developed at the All-Star value, where they sleep 6 and have the separate refrigerator and microwave and sink, so allowing a lot of space for storage and just grab and go food for the families to bring if they're heading out to the parks or whatever it may be. So.